family and friends. It is MG, and welcome to the Reimagine You Lab podcast. It is the year 2025. Can you guys believe it? I can't. I can't believe that we have already made it to 2025. Rochinda, can you believe it?
Nope, I cannot believe it. I'm like, wow. 2024 went by quickly.
It did. You know what? Just not too long ago, it felt like we were saying toast to 2024. The year was coming in, and here we are. The year is gone, and we are welcoming a brand new year. And I'm so glad that we are. And I'm so glad that you are the first guest on the show this year. And before girl, listen. We're going to have us a good time. We're going to talk all things brand new, all things that we have, what we put to bed, what we're bringing in for this year, and getting folks ready for what is going to be a tremendous year, not only for you, but what's going to be a tremendous year for them. So first, let me thank everybody who rocks with us. I just want to appreciate you guys. Y'all have made it an awesome podcast year, because I am like, we have made it. We have hit well over our 13. Let me see. I think we are at 14,000 people that tune in and listen, subscribers. We have hit over 75,000 people across all of the platforms. So I just want to thank y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, for rolling with a sister, because you just never know. You do this stuff and sometimes you like, are y'all here? Are you for real? And I'm just like, so thank you. Thank you very much. And Rochinda, listen, girl, I got to tell you. Well, first of all, let me just say this. If you guys don't know, because I am introducing to some, I am presenting to others. Y'all know this is one of my sisters right here. Like we rocks together, we rolls together, we take trips, we have fun. So Rochinda Pickens, first, before we get into it, let's tell them who you are. Tell them who you are, where you at, what you do, how you do it. We beyond the bio. We still doing that in 2025, and that's how I like to start off all shows. So give them to them, honey. Beyond the bio. So
yeah. You know, I am Rochinda Pickens, known as the Crown Checker. Those of you all who don't know, I'm that sister that's always checking your crown. Look, what time is it? Crown check. I am a speaker. I am an author of 6 books, national bestsellers. I am the owner of Chinda and Friends. I am the CEO and the founder of Kept Woman of God Ministry. I am a whole wife. I am a mother of 3 grown children, and how many grandbabies? 3 amazing grandbabies, which it will be 4 in May.
Yeah, 1 on the way.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm a nana. I have 2 pups, Jojo and Sterling. So, I love my dogs. I am, the ordinary girl. I'm no different than you. So I tell people I'm the girl next door, the woman in the grocery store, talking to everybody all the time. And mainly I am a vessel being used by God. So little old me. Little old
you. I love that. You know what? And people appreciate that. As a matter of fact, I love always hearing the stories that you tell about being at the grocery store, at the mall, somewhere, and somebody will be like, I think I know you from Facebook. I think I know you from Instagram. So, hey, and you are an ordinary girl doing extraordinary things, being a blessing to all the people that you come in contact with. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. So I appreciate that about you, and so do so many others. So Chinda, let's talk a little bit about how you got started in doing some of this stuff. Or actually, you know what? No, let me rewind that back.
Okay.
Let me rewind that back, because a lot of people that are going to be tuning in, they know you already, right? Like a lot of folks know you, some people don't. But let's talk a little bit about what I think is super important, and that is when you got started on your journey. there were, you wasn't expecting it, right? Like you kind of got thrust upon being who you are now, not because you wanted to, and just said, hey, I'm deciding that I'm gonna brand myself as the crown checker. You just got started. People don't know really
Uh-huh.
what the story is. A lot of people don't really know what the story is. What they see is the glory now, right? They see you smiling, they
Uh-huh.
see you happy, they see you living your good life, and they think you woke up like this.
Yeah.
But they don't necessarily know the story, behind what the glory has brought you to and what has gotten you here.
Yeah.
So for those who do not know, take them back just a little bit,
Okay.
just so that they have a little bit of history, because I think it's important, because sometimes when we just like we just came out of Christmas, and
Yeah.
some people just, they're like, you know what, y'all are so commercial about Christmas and it's really about Jesus, and you really do have to know the story of Jesus to really really understand Christmas and to love Christmas the way that you're supposed to. I
Mhm.
think for people to really 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 love Rochinda the way that they supposed to, it'd be good for them to really know her story.
The
So
backstory.
the
Yeah.
backstory, give them a little bit of the backstory so that they can kind of know what you have grown into. But
Yeah.
there was a process for you to have gotten here.
Yeah, it really was. It was a huge process. It was a huge process. Actually, there was a disruption in my life that took place in '07. And a lot of times people, like you said, they meet you where you are now in the glory,
Mm-hmm.
in the glory phase. It's like I had to go through some stuff before I got to the glory phase. Um, December 2007, I was in a
Mm-hmm.
tragic car accident. I was married for over 20 years, traveling on the highway, hit black ice, car flipped over the highway, and he died instantly. Died instantly. I was left as a widow of three children. And
Yeah.
so from that car wreck, from that disruption in my life, that brought me all the way down to my knees. And
Yeah.
that brought me to the place of surrender of Lord, what do I need to do? Where do I need to go? And so from December the 22nd, '07, that has been a journey for me. And
Yeah.
it wasn't until I surrendered my life and ask God, help me, lead me, guide me. And I said that confident yes. You know how we always saying a confident
Mm-hmm.
yes. I had to give God a confident yes to serve Him. And then next thing I know, we're talking about the conference and we're talking about, ministry and
Yeah.
books and all of these things. But
Yeah.
it started from tragedy,
Yeah.
started from tragedy. Through the tragedy, I had to go through the healing process. So this journey is ongoing,
Yeah.
ongoing.
Yeah.
So there was layers to that car wreck, and so
Yeah.
that was the beginning. That was the beginning of that insecure little girl. Well, I was a grown woman at that time, but I was 44. But I
Yeah.
had to go way back. I had to go way back and, really recognize who is she? Who
Yeah.
is she? What is she supposed to be doing? What is her purpose? And
Yeah.
do it afraid, not even knowing all the answers. So when you said I'm in the place of glory, I never
Mhm.
even looked at it like that. I just looked at it as I'm just doing what God has instructed me to do.
Yeah. No, I love that. You know what? And Richard, you are one of a few people that, like you said, you don't even really look at it like that, as hey, this is this glorious life that I'm living. You enjoy your life, you enjoy the family and the people that are part of it, but you're not grandstanding and doing all of these things that sometimes, you see people doing. But
Mhm.
a lot of what you do is really bringing other people along and helping them to have, in their moments
Yeah.
of their disruption and the turning points in their lives. You're saying, hey sis, if I can have made it through, you can make it through also. And
Absolutely.
so that kind of brings me to, because we met because you were penning your story.
Uh-huh.
You were saying, you were talking about in writing the book, From Being Kept to Being Kept. That's where we first got our start
Mhm.
together. And as a part of, when you were sharing that story, you were doing a workshop
Uh-huh.
on, sharing this story, like embracing your breakdown so that you can share your breakthrough, or
Yep.
so that other people can have their breakthroughs. And you introduced me to the Kept Woman of God ministry and this amazing conference that you put on every year. And
Yeah.
Rochinda, this year, 2025, you're going to be celebrating year number 10.
Yeah. Can you believe that? I
I
mean, Michelle, I remember when I sat down in your office, you
Yeah.
know, for that first book, From
Yeah.
Being Kept to Being Kept. And I'm like, wow, you
Mhm.
can't say, God, thank you. And that
Yeah.
conference, we're talking about 10 years.
10
And
years.
I feel like God has left me here so I can connect with more women and to
Yeah.
let them know, you know what, we have to embrace that breakdown so we can be prepared for that breakthrough. And in order to be prepared for that breakthrough, you got to go through some stuff and you got to sit in it.
Yeah.
And I still 10 years, I'm
10 years.
like, wow.
Yeah.
It's
And one of the, it is huge. And I was thinking about when you were talking about it, 10 years and breaking through, and the conference theme this year, Rochinda, transform her.
Yes, that's us. That's all of us as women. When you think about transform her, we're talking about a full
Yeah.
circle from being kept to being kept, full circle.
Yeah.
From that girl in '07 to where she is now, we're talking about a full circle to the point where you sit back saying, wow, I'm like, God's going to show out. He's going to show
Yeah.
out in the lives of women everywhere. And
Yeah.
we get to be on the front row and watch it unfold.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the beautiful part. When I think about transformation, when I think about, we always kind of equate a butterfly with transformation and being in a cocoon, being silent, being quiet, being shy, not wanting to go on stages, not wanting to be out in the forefront. Like when I
That
think
was
about,
me. That
yeah,
was me.
I was gonna say. I was
Uh,
gonna say, share a little bit of that, because I don't think a lot of people
yeah.
may not know that you
Oh
were a
my God.
stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, I was a stay home mom for 16 years. I graduated from high school. I had my first child when I was 19 years old. I
Mhm.
got married when I was 23. And so I was a stay-home mom, and my job was to take care of the children. And I did that very, very well. But I was that one that was behind the scenes of everything. If there was
Mhm.
an event or a party, I would be the one that would be baking or cooking and making sure everything's clean and everything's in place. But to put me out front, I was like, oh no, because the reason that I had a problem with being out front is because I didn't think I had anything that was of value. I was like, why do I need to be out front? Let me just do the stuff from the behind. And, I was like, no, no, no. It's time for you to come out of hiding, you know,
Yeah.
because you have a lot of value. And again,
Mhm.
I had to go through what I went through so I could really uncover those layers of insecurities,
Mhm.
being
Mhm.
afraid or wondering, you know, if this is the right thing to say or the right thing to do. And, God's like, no, I need you to be yourself.
Yeah.
I need you to show up. I need you to
Mhm.
speak the truth. And I need you to give me the glory. Give me the glory and let me handle everything. And so sometimes I'm sitting back like, are they asking me to be right over here and do
Yeah.
these things?
Yeah.
And so again, that woman from
Mhm.
back then she don't exist anymore. And I mean, and you sit back and you say, wow, who's that girl? You know, who is that girl?
Right.
And
Well, here's the thing. We wouldn't say that she doesn't exist.
mhm,
She has evolved.
right, she has evolved. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because that's the thing. A lot of times we change. Like, just think about, at 19 you were a girl, you were a young woman.
uh-huh,
At 23 you were an older younger woman.
yep,
At 33 you were an older younger young woman. At 43 you were something else. 53 you're something else. At 60 you're something
yeah.
else, right? You know what I mean? So
Look,
you
you
keep
see how
evolving.
you said at 60, you something else. And that's how I feel. At 60, I feel like I'm something else.
Exactly. And sometimes we have to embrace, like we have to. I mean, I think about it, and I think most women have to think about it and say, you know what, either I am going to embrace who this is that is existing right now,
Yeah,
and who this is that is evolving right now.
right,
Because we're existing or we're evolving.
right.
And it just kind of depends on which one of these sisters you gonna embrace, because it's all the same chick.
Uh-huh.
You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? But it's which one of them are you embracing right now? Because depending on how you see yourself is the self that you're going to be, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to embrace all of her as I'm evolving.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am learning, in my menopausal self. Like
I'm
I
over
didn't
here saying
I didn't realize what menopause was going to do,
let me tell you about it.
and the effects that it would have. My mom said, Michelle, every time you get a new zero on the back of your age, it comes with some other things with it. And again, are
Yeah,
you going to exist? Are you
absolutely.
going to evolve? And I'm like, you know what, mom, I guess I better go ahead and evolve and embrace this thing and see what I need to do to be better with what I got and how I need to handle it. And I'm just like, you know what? So many of us, and I've spent time, sometimes we will shrink.
Right.
And one of the things, Rochinda, that I really love about you, and from the first time that we met, and kind of in the all the years that I have known you, you know what? You're one of those ones that will, say, "Hey, sis, you ain't got to shrink. You don't have to. Like, don't do that. Like, and really help encourage others to really kind of move forward in who they are. And that's one of the things that I have always valued and appreciated about you. And it's funny because when you say, like, to me, I'm always thinking, Jinder, I don't know whoever told you or whatever made you think that you don't have no value.
But you know what? It was interesting. It wasn't that no particular person told me that. I just didn't know my self-worth.
Yeah, that.
And
Mhm.
I think with society, sometimes we measure our self-worth on somebody else,
Somebody else,
you
comparing
know,
ourselves to other people.
and that part there. And so, that part there, I'm like, girl, you didn't know who you were. But see, it wasn't that I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who my father was. I didn't
Yeah.
know who the creator
Yes.
was. And once you know who the creator is, you like, he don't make no junk. He don't
He
have
doesn't. He
nothing.
doesn't. He
So,
doesn't.
so
Everything he makes is wonderful. It
absolutely.
is. And the Bible tells us that. You know
Mhm.
what? One of the things that I really want to pull out and make sure that people know it. So tell them when the conference is, because I think it's so important. And we want to make sure that we invite people
Oh,
to
yeah.
come and be a part of it.
The conference is April the 11th and the 12th.
Yes.
2025. We're talking about in a few months.
Yes, just a few,
Absolutely.
and tickets are on sale. People can.
That's
We've got the link and information inside of the right underneath. The details are right below. So make sure that you go to the website so that you can check it out. Get your tickets. Bring a group.
Uh,
And
uh,
actually, its group tickets are, if you bring a group, there's a discount for those who bring a group. So
Absolutely.
get a group of 10 and come, a group of 5 and come. We would appreciate seeing you there. And the conference is, this is not a, one of the things that I think is also amazing is that the conference is not exclusive.
Nope.
It's not exclusive to any one church, one group, one organization. It's open to everybody.
Mhm.
And it is set up to be a benefit to all women. Like, this is a transformational gathering of women to bring resources and tools to help empower women on their journeys through transformation, evolution, helping them get to where it is that God wants them to go and grow. So,
Right.
Rochinda, when you started this,
Mhm.
how did you get started? Or share with others. I've heard the story, but share with others how you got started with this and kind of what put this brainchild in your heart and mind to even give it to women, and so that they know what it is that they get, what they're getting when they come.
Well, what happened is at one time I owned a boutique. I ran a boutique called Chinna's Boutique for 10 years. And I also was the director of ministry at a church called Renaissance Church. And so I created a growth group and I named my growth group, it was Chinda and Friends. And what was interesting was I would host Bible studies over at the boutique. So
Mhm.
during one of my Bible studies, I had a vision board class. And so it was maybe like 6 women, and we did this vision board. And I had all the women to create what their plans and their goals were for the following year. And one thing about me, if I'm going to speak about doing something, I am that one that's got to put action, because you can't be sitting here talking about something you're going to do and then you don't have any proof. So on my vision board was a conference for the following year. And I had already been praying of, Lord, what do you have for me to do? And on that vision board was, you're going to host your first conference. I hosted that first conference, named it Kept Woman of God, and there was 139 women in attendance. But check this out. I didn't have no keynote speaker or anything. I was the speaker, and I was the speaker that was sharing my testimony. And that was the first time I had told my story in public.
Mhm.
Had no idea of what was going to take place from that first conference to 10 years later. I mean, Michelle, I didn't even think about who wasn't going to show up. All I knew
Yeah.
was, we're going to put everything in place. This is what's going to take place. And everybody who's going to be in that room, those are going to be the people that's supposed to be in that room. And
Yeah.
then, every year started growing, started,
Mhm.
and here we are.
You haven't turned back.
No, have not turned back, to the point where it's always done in Kansas City, Missouri, but we reach women from all over the world. Women that I have met on Facebook, uh,
Mhm.
seeing where they're coming to the conference. I was looking at some pictures the other day, and I was,
Mhm.
wow, you made these connections from social media. And
Yeah.
these women came to Kansas City because they wanted to be a part of the Kept Woman of God conference.
Yeah. And
So,
that's a blessing. You know
yeah,
what? And Rochinda, what's amazing about that is you're not the pastor of a church.
mm-mm,
You're not the first lady of the church or worship leader or anything like that. You're a single individual woman who
yeah,
had a story and a vision board that you put on there. I'm going to do a conference and share my testimony.
yeah,
And people came.
yeah. And the thing is, that vision board, even for myself and for some of the other women that
Hmm.
had put certain things on that vision board,
Hmm.
10 years later, I'm looking at the milestones that they have made in their businesses. I was having a conversation with one lady the other day.
Mm-hmm.
She shared a video and she says, it was the vision board party and you pouring into me that allowed me to start my business. And now she's been doing what, Stacy stuffed shea butter for 10 years now. And
Wow.
you sit back and you say, Lord, really? I had to go through what I went through because
Mm-hmm.
he needed a definite yes, a
Mm-hmm.
sincere yes, and someone who is sold out for him, not for all the other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, and
And
I
somebody needed to see you. Somebody needed to see you.
and like you said, no, I'm not a pastor, not a ministry leader, not, I'm just little on me. I'm that ordinary woman. That
Yeah.
ordinary woman, just like many of us.
Yeah. That listened.
Mhm,
That was obedient, obeyed God. No, I love it. 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 Now, you know what, Chinda? One of the things that you have been, with Chinda and Friends and a number of your initiatives, you talked about, you had a goal, you had this vision board and you put it there and then you took action. Because I am definitely a action taker. I'm always telling people you gotta take action behind some of the things that you say, because if you don't, you'll find yourself always having things on your list, but if you don't put any action to them, it's very hard to do anything or see any growth or progress if you don't put any action to it. But a lot of people will say, you know what, I'm scared, or I'm nervous, or I don't know what action to take. I don't know what it is I'm supposed to do, or they don't hold themselves accountable, or they don't get people to hold them accountable. Tell them some of the things that makes it easier for you to
uh-huh.
take action, because action's not easy for everybody.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think for me, what's easy for me is I have to set goals. When a goal is set for me and I can see it, then that means it's like, okay, you're going to move forward. And now if I'm just talking about something and I don't actually write it down and I have people to hold me accountable, sometimes
Mhm.
you just kind of, blow it off. But for me, I have to have someone that can hold me accountable. And what I do is I speak it out.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like if I tell you what I'm going to do, then that means you already did heard it out of my mouth. So now I have to take those actions. And by me taking those actions, I'm able to show the other women, this is what I'm doing to get here. I mean, and I remember when I did that first conference, I think I said like 150 to 200 women. And I
hmm,
had people say, this is your first conference, 150 to 200 women. And I was like, that's the goal we're going to set. Because if we set it at 200, we know we're going to get at least half of it. And
yeah,
always, I would always do higher numbers because I knew that if I'm reaching for higher numbers, then that meant I was going to get at least half of them.
yeah,
But one thing that I do for myself is I write them down and I
mhm,
share it with someone else of this is my goal of what I need to do in order to get to the next level. I don't
yeah,
keep it to myself. If I keep it to myself, then therefore I don't have anybody to hold me accountable.
yeah, yeah. So you get somebody to help you to speak it
Accountability.
out. Hmm. Write it
Absolutely.
down,
Mhm.
speak it out,
Right.
and then have somebody hold you accountable to what it is that you said. You know what? This is how I phrase that in a term. Speak what you seek.
Uh-huh.
You see what you said.
I
You
remember
speak
that.
what you
Speak what
see,
you speak until you see
what you said.
what you said.
Yeah. And then that way you're always working on it, because if you're saying it enough, you want to see it. And if
Mm,
you want to see it, you're going to do the things that you need to do so you can see it.
right.
And
And
that makes you take
a lot of times we don't speak it. We keep it to ourselves. And so
action. Mhm.
to me, if it's something that I really want to do and I don't speak it out in existence, then that means how bad do I really want it?
Yeah.
How bad do I want to really want it? Because what happens is if you don't speak it out and you don't go out and get it, then that means you might have some doubt. You might have
Mhm.
some doubt that you can do
Mhm.
these things. And if you have doubt that you can do these things, you're not going to, nobody's going to push you and you're not going to push yourself. And
Right.
if it doesn't take place, nobody ever knows.
Yeah.
Ever knows that you
That's
said
true.
you was going to host a conference, where for me, I put it out there. This is going to take place. This
Yeah.
is what I'm going to do. And I need your support and your help on how we both can move forward in doing these things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Virginia, now you are a big one who makes goals. You make big, audacious goals and things that you want to do. Talk to us about, because I always love at the end of the year, I'm always, it's counterintuitive. People are like, they always have their to-do list.
Mhm.
These are all the things that I want to do. But I like making a done list that I look at the middle of the year and then at the end of the year to say, these are all the things that I've done. Because
Uh-huh.
I think it gives you a lot of momentum when you see the things that you've done. Because sometimes you forget about, gosh, I forgot I did that. I didn't know I did that. Dang, I did that too.
Yeah.
So tell me some of those things that were on your done list for this year
That I
as you moved into 2025, because you had a lot of stuff that you got done this year. You had an
yeah.
amazing 2024.
Yeah, I was like, wow. And like you said, sometimes when you don't create that list of done, you don't realize what you have done.
Yeah.
You've just been doing it and doing it. So my done list, oh my gosh. Um, I hosted, wait a minute, this was a huge one. I hosted my first international trip.
You did
So
your chosen luxury experience.
experience. And that was huge. I've never done anything like that. And we're talking
Yeah.
about 30, was it
8
38
women,
women?
one of 38 women. Yes.
Went over to St. Kitts. That was huge.
Yeah.
Then also I got a new logo, which is the chosen. Got
Yes.
that
You got
done.
a new brand. You got new brand. Yep.
Branded a new journal. Never done a
Yeah.
journal before. Um,
Yep.
Another done list is I completed another national best-selling book.
You did. Royal Reverence.
Royal Reverence. I'm like, what else was my done list? Oh, I completed swimming lessons. I learned
You
how
did.
to swim, and I was scared to death of water. So I got that done.
Mhm.
I turned 60 years old. I was like,
Yes.
it was
And
huge.
celebrate it.
I
And
celebrated.
celebrate it.
What else did I have? Done. The conference. I hosted my ninth annual conference, kept woman
You
of God.
did. Yes.
That was
Yes.
huge.
You did. You
Oh,
kicked off your tour, your book tour.
book
You
tour.
had with the Royal Reverence. You had the multiple stops
Yes.
on your book tour, and so you had different locations that you were at,
Uh-huh.
that you hosted events with the book, supporting that.
Yes, that was huge. I led a workshop at it was a local
She's
conference
local.
from out of town. She's local. So I
Mhm.
was chosen to be one of the workshop leaders. Um,
Yes.
Huge. On top of that, I also completed some more workshops around the book tour.
Yep.
Um,
You
man,
did.
just
You did.
a long list. What else? Oh, I had a what is it? I branded the chosen leggings.
Yes.
Yes.
You did. You did. You just recently kicked off your conference ambassadors program as well. You just kicked that off so people can now become ambassadors for the
Yes.
Cup Woman of God conference. So
Yeah.
you
That's
Richenda,
a lot.
that is a ton. That
That's
is a ton. And that
done
ain't even the whole list. That's just what we coming up with right now on the fly.
right because I should have pulled out a pad and just had my little list because I do remember writing it down, but I don't have it in front of me. But yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
you know what, and I asked you that. I didn't have that on our list of my initial questions that I was going to ask you, but I just thought about, just all of the things that you've been doing when you were talking about the goals that you have. And
yeah,
sometimes when we were on, and we were talking about with the ambassadors last week,
right.
and was having a conversation, you were like, you know what, that was something that I had wanted to do, and you had that on your list of things to do.
Girl, it's been
And
on my list a long time, and
yeah,
never. You were
just
talking
had
a long time ago, and never did
yeah,
it until this year.
yeah, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, wow, like sometimes there are things that you do that
Hmm.
sometimes you just say, you know what, hey, we're gonna do this, and we just go ahead and we just get it done. Just, hey, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna get this done. And sometimes you don't, because you do that, you just say, hey, we're going to get this done. And so that done list become, when you look at it and you say, hey, I did this and this and this and this. Sometimes when you just the exercise. And so this is my um challenge and opportunity to our listening audience today. I want you to go back for 2024, and I want you to write down everything that you have done, everything that you got done in 2024. And I want you to look at that list. I want you to be proud of that list. I
Hmm.
want you to pray over that list. I want you to be grateful for all of the things that you have done, and let it be fuel and momentum as you prepare and you go into, as you are entering into 2025, and you on a high note, and you thinking about all of the things that you are getting ready to do for this year. I just want you to marvel over that
Uh-huh.
list, so that you can be ready to let that be fuel for you as you continue into 2025. Let that be your rocket fuel to help you get through, to let you know that, hey, you have done some stuff, and you've got some additional things that you're going to get ready and that you're going to do. Your list in 2025 is going to be even nicer than what all the things that you got done in 2024.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's our challenge to the listening audience. Gosh, my goodness, Rochinda, I swear the time be going by too quick. It be going by too quick. Oh my goodness. Okay. So things that we need to give us the top 3 things, because our time is going to run out on us. Tell me
Okay.
the top 3 things that for people to be able to get engaged with you, connect with you in 2025. Top 3 things, 3 ways for people to get engaged with you in 2025.
Okay. Top 3 things. Okay. They can get engaged with me by attending the Kept Woman of God conference,
Yes.
April the 11th and the 12th.
Yeah.
They can also, second, participate in one of the chosen luxury experiences, because with
Yes.
the vineyard, I'm like, yes.
And we're going to talk about that before we
Yeah.
get out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Martha's Vineyard. If
Martha's
you
Vineyard.
have not been to Martha's Vineyard yet,
Mhm.
we want you to take this trip. It's going to be an amazing trip. 4 days, four
Yeah.
days, 3 nights, August the 21st through the 24th, 2025. It's
Yeah.
going to be a fantastic time. And I'm telling you, you get loved on. This is one of those experiences that enables you, and it's buy one, bless one. So 2 people
Yeah.
go for the price of one. If you All the details are down below, but it's
Uh-huh.
chosenluxuryexperience.com. We want you to go out there so that you can check it out. But you and a friend, you and a auntie, bring mama, or bring your sister, bring your daughter. But
Mhm.
2 people come for the price of one. Or if you are a solo traveler, this is a nice solo experience. If you don't want to bring nobody with you, you do not have to. We want you to know that you don't have to bring nobody with you. But it's a beautiful sister network that you can go, and it's just an experience for you to take care of you.
Yeah.
There's no husbands.
Mhm.
There are no small children that you have to take care of.
No.
This is an adults only. So if you're bringing children, these are only adult children can come with
Uh-huh.
you. If you're bringing an
That's it.
adult daughter with you, that's it. But
Mhm.
it's really a time for you to be able to just worry. No worry, just take care of you. We had such a
Absolutely.
beautiful time in St. Kitts. You will really enjoy this time. Go out there, chosenluxuryexperience.com. You
Yep.
are going to be blessed. I'm telling you. It's refreshing, it's relaxing.
Yeah, and one other thing is to get engaged with me through social media.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
the Kept Woman of God page or Chinden Friends.
Mhm.
So we can engage, connect, have conversations, and continue to lift each other up,
Yes.
and move forward together.
Yeah. And if you are one of those people, because Rochinda, when she introduced herself, she told you that she is the crown checker. So there are those times, crown check time. There are those times, if you have not run into it, where your crown just might fall off.
Yeah,
Rochinda's newest book is called Royal Reverence. And it's really about being able to have that self-care, being able to have that self-respect, being able to have boundaries, to being able to
yeah,
say no, to say no gracefully, to say no without having to make excuses or feeling guilty, the guilt-free no.
right, right.
Being able to just love yourself unapologetically, and being able to build a community, have a community of other women, that love, that you can love, and that also love you. Being able to find them and to connect with them. Sometimes a lot of people are challenged with that. This
Yeah,
sister right here, she's good at that type of engagement,
uh-huh.
and she'll be a blessing to you. So if you enjoy engaging in any of those ways, being ministered to, business owners, professional women, mamas, nanas, and everything in between, you will love this lady. Rochinda, as always, it has been a beautiful way to kick off 2025. Thank you for being here. Love
Thank
you.
you. Love you too. And thank you for allowing me to sit at your feet. 2025, we are kicking it off.
We are. This is going to be a great year.
Absolutely.
2025 is the year of silver and gold. Have I not? But
Yes,
that which I have, we are giving it to you. So it's going to
absolutely.
be a blessed year. It's going to be a blessed year. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been MG with my guest, Rochinda Pickens, and the first edition of the Reimagine You Lab podcast for 2025. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being loyal listeners. We love you, and I look forward to seeing you next week. If you have not already, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and I look forward to seeing you here next week. Every Friday, we drop a new episode, and until then, I will see you then. Goodbye.
Bye.